We did it again. I like that shirt. Really?
Really?
That's awesome. So pink means...
That's just the test.
I know. It just says the pink is going to be girls.
I don't know. Just the test.
That's awesome.
Hours ago, prosecutors in Weld County releasing a trove of documents in the Christopher Watts murder case. Nearly 2,000 pages of documents revealing a broken marriage and a failed lie detector test, providing a big break in the case.
I watched that video of you finding out that Shan'ann was pregnant. Don't seem excited. You seem like kind of in shock.
Scared.
And yeah, like, oh fuck. Like,
Well,
it's already complicated and now this.
Well, it's like when we had talked about it, like a couple weeks, it happened fast. Like with Bella, it was like we almost gave up trying, and then she bought me like a supercharger for my car. And then with Cece, it was like we had to try, and then finally, but with Nico, it was once or twice, and then like 2 weeks later, she's pregnant.
Is that what happened?
Yes. And just like it was more of like surprise, scared. I'm like, wait, what? Like we just talked about this. Like, people have brought up the fact like, oh, she was probably pregnant before, like you guys even talked about it. I'm just like, no. But like, yeah, it was insanely fast.
On Monday, it was back to work for Watts. This day was arguably the last normal work day for Watts because when he returned from North Carolina, the premeditation was likely locked in.
I got nightmares in my head, I fear. Thoughts build up until I can't feel. My mind fills up into a creature, and it haunts me somewhere much deeper. I got nightmares in my head, I fear.
Hi and welcome to True Crime Rocket Science, the most authentic voice in true crime.
As was her usual habit, Shan'ann called Watts first thing in the morning before he left for work. She may have given him a brief list of instructions that included sorting out her car insurance and getting the damn defective Vivint sensor fixed. Now, I do think Watts was about to go on this trip, and yet this Vivint sensor had been on the blink, on the glitch all along, which, if you think about it, suited the affair. She couldn't keep track on him, but of course it would also suit committing a crime if the investigators were trying to keep track of him as well. At 09:18, Shan'ann sent Watts 3 images of a serious injury to one of their children. Watts observed that the ankle appeared dislocated. It's possible the visual of this injury fed into the mental preparation that was psychologically primed and perhaps already in place at that point. How did he feel about his family getting hurt? Bear in mind what he did to his children's bodies, stuffing them through those thief hatches, wasn't just an effort to hide their bodies, but to destroy their limbs, to dissolve them into nothing. It's unknown which child was injured, but it would be no surprise to learn that it was Cece. This injury should also be seen in the context of Shanann's earlier fear that Watts' mother had tried to kill her child. Well, now we have a serious injury, the circumstances of which aren't even mentioned. And so it does make one wonder, who was supervising the child when the injury happened? And if you think about it even further, Nutgate was this idea that something could have happened to one of the children, while now something has happened to one of the children. Well, who's responsible for that? Well, before we get to the rest of this analysis, if you're finding this latest series on the Chris Watts case, if you're finding it worthwhile and you don't want to miss future episodes, you might want to hit the subscribe button, also the notification bell. If you're finding this analysis meaningful and interesting, please hit the thanks button and let's get started. So at 16:44, Kessinger called and left her second voicemail with a creepy schoolgirl-like giggle. Background noise suggests the call was made while driving. The couple were very much in love at this point, as evidenced by the effort Watts made into researching lovey-dovey lyrics and love letters. 5 days earlier, remember, he'd researched when to say I love you online. So things have really ramped up in terms of their relationship. Watts likely called Kessinger back shortly after receiving a message, but this call is also deleted from Watts' device. So he's actively rubbing out, covering his tracks. It's also noteworthy that the last order of business for Watts before he decamped from Colorado was dealing with Vivint and crafting his love letters to Kissinger. On July 30th, his final day in Colorado without his wife and children, what is he doing specifically? Well, two things. Number one, Vivint. Watts is working resetting settings and sensitivity and monitoring of the home security system. What this suggests is that during this period that he's been having the affair, the sensitivity has been at a level that's not going to pick him up, not going to alert Shan'ann. Well, now that he's going to be away from home, now the Vivint security system needs to be genuinely performing its job. And so this is necessary because he'll be away all week, and also because the system needs to be programmed so that Dieter doesn't set it off. This also begs the question, when Watts was away on the camping trip and sleeping over at Kissinger, where was Dieter? Well, we know that Nicholas Atkinson and Nichol were roped in to babysit the dog during the first week of August and were briefed on the security system and the front door code. But what happened before that? Did Watts leave the animal caged in the basement the entire time he was sleeping over at Kissinger's? Even that kind of gives you this idea, is he making all things secondary to his relationship with Kissinger? Or did he take the dog with him to Kissinger? I think she had a dog herself. Did this control of the animal while he was getting his kicks also form part of him sort of hardening his heart and developing the necessary mental preparation to commit triple murder? And there's something else. It may be that during the next week, while sulking and pining away for Kissinger, he started plotting and saw the loopholes in the home security system as the key to pulling off his scheme. And that brings us to number 2, love letters. At 1838, presumably while still at home, Watts Googled love letters. About an hour and a half later, he was likely done and ready to leave. Instead, he told Shan'ann, letting Dieter out and going to bed, boo, love you. Well, he no longer loved her. He loved someone else, really loved her. That night, he didn't go to bed early and didn't sleep in his own bed. It's likely he didn't go to sleep at all. Well, I'm not going to take it further than that. Just to read one of these love letters, he writes, Nikki, wow, where do I even start? The first day I saw you, you took my breath away. The first day I had the guts to talk to you, I got lost in those stunning green eyes. The first day we hung out in the park together, I knew I was addicted. The first time we kissed, I knew I had met the most amazing, unique, and electric woman ever. We have a lot of firsts together, Nikki, and I want to keep having them with you. And then he quotes a couple of song lyrics. There's also another card that's filled with little sentimental little statements, and it's really incredible looking at these sort of sweet statements and juxtaposing this with the horror of what stood on the other side of this. The sour receptacle that was going to be instrumental in the crime, at Survey 319. It's just really incredible just how sweet one side of a person can be and how absolutely horrific another side of them can be, a true Jekyll and Hyde. Anyway, that was the 30th of July. In the next episode, we'll deal with Watts's journey to North Carolina and the week he spends with Shan'ann when he's there. Thank you for listening, and I'll see you guys next time.